Good day, welcome back to my channel. This is the start of a new series, and as always we start a series with an unboxing. This is an offering from Randy Cooper, professional model maker, of Hera Syndulla's hero ship, the Ghost. This is the Ghost as it was featured in the Ahsoka series. So it's a little bit different, has different lines, different overall dimensions than you see illustrated in the Rebels animated series. And he took this and patterned and built this, scratch built the model and then the kit pieces from those references. So that's what this is. This also has the Phantom 2, which is the replacement for the original Phantom shuttle that was destroyed. And basically I'm going to go in and this is it just came out. So I was fortunate enough to get one of the first kits that he made. And this is me looking into the box. Now, obviously, this series is going to take a while, just like my Cthulhu series, because it's going to be involved. I do want to kind of really give this all the effort that it deserves. So it's going to take a while, especially with everything else going on in my life. So look for this series to take a while. However, let's take a look in this box. If you're at all interested in this kit, take a look in here. This is what we see. Spoilers ahead. Wow. I'm going to walk through. Remember, and I think I mentioned this as I walk through the unboxing, I have not looked at the instructions on how to put everything together yet. Cool thing about the way he designs his kit is they are designed to be, they're well engineered. So where your seam lines are, how the thing goes together, they're really well done in ways of how those mold lines are, seam lines are hidden, how the the pieces cover up a lot of the joins and things like that. So I could babble on about that, but let's go ahead. We'll get into the unboxing here, and yeah, let's take a look at what he's got, because wow.
All right, so I'm going to try and make this work on this desk. We'll see. So, as I said, this is the Ghost kit from Randy Cooper. I will go ahead and I'll put links to to videos he's done about building this, making this kit. Really, really amazing work from what it looks like. So I was lucky enough to be in on that. And this is me actually opening this bad boy. So, wow. Okay, so I can already see this thing is not small, although we kind of knew that. You can see that from there. We've got peanuts to get through. So, tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. I'll get the pieces out, and then we'll look at them. Now, before I go ahead and pull all these out, there is something I did want to point out. Now, he really, really packs this thing well. And you just want to be careful when you're pulling all your pieces out that you are careful to both find them, look for these baggies, and just be gentle and careful when you do. So, this bag actually, the engine parts tend to be pretty obvious to see. And where he put these, right? These are also, obviously, now there are a couple, however. So there's this one right here, which is panels, right? This is very thin. It's a thin press or a thin pour. So he's got that against the side, so just be careful when you pull that out. There's also another one here on this side, which is your clear parts, right? So the clear parts you have for your cockpit and for the other windows you have in there. And then there's this one as well. This is the Ghost, which is, or not the Ghost, the Phantom, which is the shuttle that sits up top. And that's sort of buried in there against the thing. Now, these are packed really, really well. So I'll go ahead and pull the rest of these out, and then we'll look at the parts. All right, so now that I've got into those, this is what you end up getting. You have your two main body parts, then two baggies that look like parts for the Ghost itself. Then it looks like this is the baggie that is just for the Phantom. Baggie of greeblies, or panels. And if I'm looking at this now, this is without looking at his instructions. So if I look at these are large panel parts, and these are probably pieces that go in along various flat parts that you have, or detailed parts. I should actually look at what, the instructions that he has on how to put this all together, which he does have. I have not done that. So you don't get the benefit of me having done that ahead of time. But he's also really, really good at how he does it. And he's also got his own video of putting this thing together. This I didn't see. So this is the base for the Ghost. So you go in here and you'll put brass rod if you want to go ahead and mount this in flight. I believe that's how he did his in flight. I will actually probably do mine landed with landing gear down. So that's actually really cool. Thanks, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and look at the two big parts first, just so that I can set them aside. Now, this is one of the sides, and this looks to be the port side. All right, so this is the port side of it, and you can basically, you'll see this is the front right here. This is your top detail, which is really freaking incredible. This is the casting, right? This is his pour. This is not a 3D print. This is a poured casting. This is fantastic. That's just amazing. The detail that's in here is just amazing. And I've seen a few kits that he has done before, and the really cool thing is his seams. The seams that are here are going to be covered by those panels that you saw on the flat pack. So the really cool part is you'll go through and put this together, and it's designed in a way so that when you put it together, all of the seam work is minimal. But look at that. Look at that right there. That is freaking amazing. Okay. And I'll flip it over, look at the underside. I'll explain this piece of tape here in a moment. Really nice. Look at that. Look at that work in there. Look at that. This is a pour. Wow. Just, all right, Randy, just the artwork in having that pour done is outstanding. That is really amazing. Now, I was starting to fiddle with this piece of tape, and I was getting ready to take it off, and then I realized that that's holding on this panel. This is a separate panel. So this is the panel that sits between the port and starboard sides. So you can see that this has locating marks here and on the inside there. So this allows you to put these two together. But the neat thing is this whole thing is empty, and we'll see that in the other one. So you just take the other piece, slide this in here. Really well done. So let's go ahead and take a look at the starboard side. And this is our starboard side, which is similar, right? As is Star Wars. And now you could tell this thing is massive. This is not a small kit. I'm looking at what? How long is it? I think he said it's 196 scale. So it is 18 inches just for this. So it's huge. But again, the detail in the casting itself, and just like all this, and these are resin pour, so you've got some cleanup to do. But again, these pieces here, these are all underneath panels that are going to be covered up. So your cleanup and work is to make it fit. You'll see here, that's where one of your escape pod covers will go. A little bit of molding rubber there. Minor bit of cleanup underneath. Wow. And these are, if I recall correctly, this is where landing gear go. So there'll be landing gear here, here, and then a pad that goes there. This is really outstanding. Really, really outstanding. Come on, focus. Thank you. Wow. Look at that. I am really excited about this. Okay. So set this piece aside. Now let's take a look at, let's go ahead and move this here a bit. Okay. And let's take a look at, so these are panels. And it will be obvious that that's, again, one of the things I've worked with Randy's kits before, and they're very obvious on where these pieces go. And I think that, like, this is, if I recall what I saw there, that was underneath, on the bottom, right behind where the ramp goes down right underneath the cockpit, that's where this piece goes. And that is, again, right covering the seam between the two sides. But look at the detail. Look at that detail. That is amazing. These look fantastic. These are, again, these are resin casting. These are not 3D prints. So you're going to be using, resin sticking. And also, as always, you want to be careful with how you handle your resin, how you clean up, use a mask, etc., etc. Obviously, these are the engines. Oh, there's the front piece. Now, again, this is really cool. Now, Randy has done his, so it's lit. So, I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to show you a couple things here. So, these are the inner engine details. And you have a couple of these, right? And then you have these. And these are, unless I miss my guess, these are, if you choose to light them, they are going to fit inside here. And this is again where I will need to go back and look at the work that he has done and the way he has, the instructions that he has. And this is just me guessing. So some of these may actually just be extra parts. So you can see here, you have, or I have in my kit, a set of those, a set of those. I have a set of these, another set of these, and these, which are not the same. So they are not the same as these. So I'm assuming these would set underneath these and become, these are the parts that would sit underneath and then get lit. Okay. These look to be other nozzles. Not exactly sure which they are, but I'll find out when I look in the instructions. So when I look at the way these are, I assume that these all go together as aspects of those. And that is another panel. So I'm going to tell you guys, don't listen to me guessing at what these are, right? So don't start typing, oh, that is this, right? That's, Randy's instructions are going to be very clear and tell you exactly what they are. And, what I'm going through right now, this is just my reaction to opening the box, right? So this is what's in this box, and I'm just blown away. I'm blown away. So this is the panel, right? That's going to go onto the back of the Ghost, right? So this is where the engines are, and you have these two. So these are the two smaller engines. Look at that. A little bit of cleanup there, but the detail that's in here, wow. Oh my gosh. I have no idea how do you cast that? How do you get that to work like that? That is just amazing. Okay. But look at that. That's just oof. And then these are the two larger engine pieces, right? And you can see here. Wow. That's just astounding. That is just amazing. That is so well done. And you're going to see this, right? So I'm going to call this out just because people who get kits will. There's flash, right? There is flash to clean up, and that's what you expect on a resin kit. Just the amount of flash and cleanup that's on this thing is. I mean, I'm looking for seam lines, and I'm having a hard time finding them. I guess there you go, right? So that's where a mold seam line would be, and the cleanup here is like almost nothing. That is somebody who knows what they're doing. Okay, that's the engine pieces. Now let's take a look at this, and again, it looks like he has these bagged and assembled, or bagged and collected together in logical groupings. So here we go. We have. This is the, what's the word I'm looking for? It's the clear pieces. These are the clear pieces that go in here. Here's your part of your inner cockpit. And one of the things he has said in his, there's a lot of nice detail in here. But when you look at when this all goes together, if you want to light it, get the glow, here is something that you can just, you hit this with, right, so you see these? If you hit this with a backlight, then all this is going to light up. And then you light it up with, or you let the light show by what you have unmasked. That is really cool, right? So here's there's the door. I think this door goes, I think that will end up going like, I could be wrong. Or maybe it goes like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. I'll look at the instructions. I'm not even going to try and fiddle with that. So you do have to clean out this flash for the cockpit piece. It does very much look like a B whatever, B29, B17 nose, which is what it was meant to when they first drew the thing. Really nice. Look at that detail. Wow, wow, wow. That's just stunning. More cockpit parts. So that's Hera's seat, I think. That is one of Hera's seats. Or that could be, actually it might be a seat that goes up underneath here. So again, here's something else you got to clear out, right? This one, and there's a clear bubble that goes in there. Vac form, that's the word I was looking for. But the cleaning of these parts is like nothing. It takes very little effort. All right. And okay, so this looks like that would be here. Right? So that'll do that, and that'll sit underneath. So maybe that seat does go in here. When I look and see what that is. Find out. And here's, so the cockpit, right? So the way this works is you have the upper cockpit and the lower cockpit. So here's the door for that. And here's the bottom piece for that. It looks like that's where that goes. But again, more cockpit detail. I'm assuming this is going to be for chairs. And then these are detail parts. There's your chairs. So these are your chairs for the upper cockpit. So one of these would be Hera's. So I apologize. This one here is for the gunners up top. Now be careful when you're going through here, right? Because you're going to see a lot of these little pieces. And again, this is where it's really great the way he's bagged this up, so that the pieces you need to find are there. And don't. So I'm just gonna say this. These look like, all of these look like they are just flash pieces. But, and from experience, I'm just going to say, double check. Before you toss anything, make sure that you have all the parts that you need, that something isn't looking like flash. Those probably are just flash, but just be careful. So more detail parts here, more cockpit parts. And yes, you're going to spend a little bit of time cleaning stuff up, but that's what we do when we're making these. Oh, wow, these are just amazing. And this, I believe, is for the back gunner. So there's a small gun port, if I recall correctly, in the back. All right. So, and as I go through and actually build this thing, you'll get the non-professionals experience of building this. The way he did it was, he's got video out there, and again, I will put a link to his videos here down below, so you can see what he did, how he assembled it, how he put it together, how he designed it, so you can see all that. Okay. And that's your front. So I'm going to put those off to the side. All right, so hold on a second. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to make you watch me while I put the stuff away. All right, got that put away. So let's put this big bag here. More parts. And these are going to be, if I recall correct, if I'm understanding what these are going to be detail parts for the main hull. And looking at these look to be landing gear. Yeah, so these are going to be your landing gear. I'm not going to dump all these out, but I am going to pull out just enough so that you can see what we're working with here. And again, these are just, wow. So there's your, so this is, the bottom of one of your landing pads. I'm going to point this out too, because it's important. Now, if you look at this, right, there is some minor warping, right? You can see that just a little bit. Put this in a little bit of hot water and just flatten that out. This is what that happens with resin casting. You get just a little bit of that. You have to expect that, and you have to be ready to deal with that. And you can see here, it's really stupid minor. And the only reason I'm calling it out is because someone who's not used to resin or working with it will see that and go, oh, my part's bad. No, it's not. This is just fine. This, you just get that warm just up a little bit, and that goes right away. So it's almost not worth calling that out, but for someone who's not used to working with resin, I don't want you to be surprised. Landing gear, looking amazing. The detail, look, I'm just look at that, right? Spend a little bit of time cleaning up that flash. Put on your mask, put on some music, clean these parts up. You're going to spend time. Working with a kit like this, that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to expect to sit down, spend time cleaning it up. Do that, put the effort forward, and look at this. Okay, here's cool. Mid. He's labeled them. Oh, wow, dude, that was awesome. Thank you. Right? So these are labeled. So this is mid. So you know which ones are which. That's awesome. And so these are the top. These are the upper parts where, they'll go in. I'm assuming it goes like that. I could be wrong. But we'll figure, look, yeah. So mid. And then this here. Wow, this is just wonderful. Right, and so you also have the landing gear bays, and you can see this here. So you see that? Slot into those. Spend time looking it up. Look at how those go in, right? Look at your orientation. Spend a little time doing research on these guys. It's worth it. But there you go. Oh, wow, look at that. Just look at that. Clean up just a little bit, then drop these bad boys in place. You do want to sand these off. I'm not even sure how these fit in, so you might not even need to worry about that. But that's what you do want to do. You want to spend time. This is another part. You want to spend time doing research, not doing research, but look at your instructions, right? Look at how these pieces go together, and then make sure you clean up your parts accordingly so that they do. You do just spend a little bit of time. This is not a Tamiya kit. You don't just, throw glue in the parts in the box, shake it up, and it falls together. But this is this is one of the nicest engineered resin kits I have seen in a long time. You know what probably the most recent one was before this? Would be his hammerhead that I got. All right, now these are looking to be blocks for the thing. These are detail parts. And again, I'm not going to pull everything out. I'm just going to pull out enough to show. So this is going to go on the top. Remember that turret thing we saw just previously? I believe this goes right on top, along the top of the thing. So your seams for the two sides as they come together would go underneath here. So cleanup is going to take all of that, right? So you spend a little time cleaning these edges up, and then this just drops in and covers it. And you see how smooth and flat these are. This is just fantastic. These are your greebly parts for those sections inside. Now, the cool thing about this, right, is instead of casting these into those big pieces, these are separate. It's much easier to cast up this way and clean up and actually extract from the mold. So these look fantastic. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That stuff's just going to take washes and highlights and spend some, oh my goodness, you're going to spend time doing weathering on this thing all day, and it's going to look amazing. These things will fit into those big open spots. Typical, Star Wars with all your exposed pieces showing. Look at that. Oh, wow. This is just amazing. I do not know how you do that symmetry, Randy. I really don't. I mean, it's probably for you. You don't even think about it, but wow, that's just fantastic. That's just fantastic. So, okay, I'll put these guys back in here. Slide them in there. And then one of your escape pod covers. Got two. There's two of them. One for each side. All right. Now let's get the pin. These are, I can open this. This is the vac form for your clear parts. Nice. And working with vac form is pretty easy. Just cut it out. And there's your transfers for the Phantom. And then here are, oh no, this is cool. Say thank you, Randy. Thank you, Randy. Transfers for the cockpit and the details. So the stuff that you can see is going to be obvious. Oh, that's wonderful. Let's put that away. And lastly, Phantom. All right, let's get into the Phantom. We get detail parts. Now, the Phantom is the shuttle. I think this is the Phantom 2, because it was the original Phantom got destroyed in one of the episodes. Again, remember when I said watch out for the things you throw away? There's a chair. Did you mold Chopper in? I saw him. There he is. Haha, there's Chop. So that there. I'm on focus. There's Chopper. There's Chopper. And he goes right there. So if I remember right, you'll clean up these pieces. These will drop right like that. And then this will go right there. And that will be Phantom 2. Then here's your inner pieces. There's your inner workings. And this will slide right in there. If you want to light the inside of this and get all this lit up, you can. You have the ability to do so. There's the cockpit piece. And that will go and look at, oh goodness, look at the way this is, look at this. Cast detail in there. Oh, that is wonderful. So you drop that in there. Oh, wow. That's great. And then the chairs will go right on those parts once you clean those up. Oh, wow. That's just wonderful. You need to clean that out right there, which you can do. Just a little bit of a rotary tool. Oh, wow. This is amazing. This looks wonderful. Calling this out just so people are careful. Look at that. That's cast in there. Now, me and my fat fingers, I'm worried about breaking those. This is a me thing. So when you're putting this together, just be gentle with this part. Especially as you're working cleaning this out to put the pieces in. But that's just, oh wow. That's just wonderful. Fantastic. Okay. And then look at the interior. Look at the detail there. Guys, you're just not going to see that, right? I mean, even with how open that is, right? That's the opening you're going to look in through. And if you drop a light back in here, up underneath in there, it's going to be really hard to see any of that, but it's there. It is there. This is just amazing work. Okay. So There's your chairs. Slide them back in there so I don't lose them, because otherwise I will. Here's the main. Yeah, so this guy, there's a door if you want the door. So, if you want the door and you want to have the ramp down, you want this, if you want this off of the Ghost and you want this sitting down, you could, right? You could have the door open and as a ramp. Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this. A little bit of cleanup there. There's your seam line. Oh my gosh, that's like the worst seam line I've seen, which is like a minute to clean up. Wow, that is nice. I mean, if there's a place to put it, right there, just sandpaper done. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. All right. So, that's the Phantom. And with that is the review of the inbox review before I actually go and start putting this thing together of Randy Cooper's Ahsoka version of the Ghost. So there are many versions of there's other versions of the Ghost. This is one based off the film, not the film, but the TV series Ahsoka. So this is more accurate to that version of it. So if you have any questions, queries, whatever, please feel free to put them down below. This is what comes in that box. This is how it comes in the box. This is, and again, before I even open up the instructions to see how to put all this together. So, if you are interested, I will put a link to Randy's stuff down there. Again, this is what I talked about. Just heat up and stretch out, or heat up and straighten out. That's easy to do. It's just resin. If you are interested in this kit, reach out to him. He does fantastic work. There will be a build series for this. It will take time, just because this is not going to be a quick and dirty weekend build. This will take time, but I will be starting the Ahsoka Ghost series. So hold on for that. And with that, I'm going to go ahead. I've rambled on long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and say thank you for watching. And please, any suggestions, hints, queries, just put them on down below. Just keep respectful. And thanks again. Until next time, happy modeling, everybody.